What determines most agents' success in this industry? Well, it's not how many names you have in your database, and it's not even how many people you think know you. It's about how well you manage and market to your sphere, period. And yet, most agents either don't have a sphere list at all, or they have a huge, messy database with really no clue how to use it. And listen, I get it. You're juggling a million things. You've got showings and contracts, school drop-offs, making sure everyone is fed, and maybe even attempting a self-care routine. Like, what's that? So you're thinking, who has time to deal with a sphere list? But here's the thing, 70% or more of your income will likely come from your sphere of influence. So yes, it's kind of a big deal. So today I'm going to help you get crystal clear on who belongs in your sphere so you can build a business that doesn't rely on endless cold calling or even worse, paying for leads. Because let's be real, you've got better ways to spend your time and money. Hey there, I'm Amber Joy, and if you're a real estate entrepreneur, especially a busy mom trying to do all the things, you're in the right place. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss a single video designed to help you to build a thriving business built on referrals without losing your sanity. All right, so now that you know why this matters, let's talk about where most agents go wrong. Here's what I see all the time. Many agents don't have a sphere list at all, and others have a massive, messy database of random contacts, but no real strategy. And then there's the I'll just market to everyone strategy. And spoiler alert, that doesn't work. And if you don't know who you're actually building relationships with, you're basically throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping for a referral. And ain't nobody got time for that. So let's get clear on who actually belongs on your sphere list. All right, I want you to ditch the old school methods of ranking people in your database as A, B, C, D, etc., because relationships aren't a grading system. Instead, when you see someone's name, just ask yourself these 3 simple questions to know if someone belongs on your sphere list. Number 1, do I know them? It doesn't have to be so literal. Maybe you met virtually or via text message at an open house or a past coworker, but do you know who they are? Number 2, do I want to do business with them or get referrals from them in the future? And we ask this because not everyone is your ideal client. And number 3, am I willing to reconnect with this person and invest in the relationship from now on? Now, if the answer to all 3 of these questions is yes, then that person belongs on your sphere list. Now let's talk a little bit more about question number 3, because this is where most agents just freeze. They see a name, they feel uncomfortable about reaching back out or reconnecting, and instead of pushing through that, they remove them from the list. Why? Because it's been too long, or maybe because it feels awkward, or because they worry what the person will think about them, or that they're reaching out only for business. But here's the truth. You can't take someone off your list just because you feel uncomfortable. That name is valuable to your future and to theirs. And let's be honest, what's actually more uncomfortable? Having no sales? Struggling to pay the bills? Walking away from real estate and sitting in a cubicle all day? That's not just uncomfortable, that's painful. So let's shift our mindset and stretch ourselves here. Instead of overthinking it, just take action. The best time to reconnect was yesterday. The next best time is right now. Because if you don't reach out, someone else will. And we can't have that now, can we? Now, as you go through all the names of people that you possibly know, you're probably going to come across some realtor names or vendors and service providers and think to yourself, wait a minute, do those people belong on my sphere list? Well, let's start with realtors. If it's a realtor who has sent you referrals in the past or who has said they would, then absolutely you want to stay top of mind for those referrals, so put them on the list. Now, local vendors and service providers, what about them? Well, a lot of agents assume that these contacts should only go on a vendor list. But if they pass the 3 questions, which were, do you know them? You want to do future business with them and get referrals from them? And are you willing to connect and invest in that relationship from now on? If the answer is yes, then they belong on your sphere list, not just the vendor list. Why? Because these relationships can lead to big referrals. I mean, think about it. Service providers are in front of more people per day than the average Joe. And of course, your hairstylist, for example, probably hears more real estate conversations in 1 week than most agents do in an entire month. And if you stay in contact and provide value, they will likely refer to you. So don't box yourself in. Your sphere is so much bigger than just past clients and friends. So start gathering those valuable names so you can start reaching out. All right, so now that we've figured out who belongs on your sphere list, let's talk about where you should actually store it. Now, a lot of agents will just dump their sphere into their CRM, but that's a mistake. Let me tell you why. Because you'll probably switch CRMs or brokerages multiple times in your career. And when that happens, do you really want to risk losing your most valuable relationships? Yeah, I didn't think so. So here's what I'd recommend instead. Keep a master sphere list in Google Sheets. Now, if you're not familiar with Google Sheets, that's Google Drive's version of Excel. Now, here's why I love it. First of all, it's a living document, so you or a team member can update it anytime, anywhere, and everybody sees the most updated version. Also, it's cloud-based, so you won't lose it if your laptop suddenly decides to die on you, or maybe you spilled coffee in it, but either way, you'll always have that list online. Now, once your sphere list is cleaned up in Google Sheets, and that's the master one, then you can always import it into your CRM. But remember, your sphere should not be stuck on a mindless drip campaign. Relationships require personal connection. So here's your action step for today. If you don't already have a sphere list, start one. It's going to be the most valuable list you own as a realtor. And if you're wondering, where do I even find all these names? Well, I got you. If you'd like for me to make a future video on the top 10 places to gather sphere names from, including ones that you've probably forgotten about, all you have to do is drop a comment below and let me know. And if you already have a sphere list, it's time to refine it and even add names to it. Now, once you have your sphere list dialed in, the next step is to start actually building relationships and marketing to them in a way that gets real results. And spoiler alert, cold calling isn't the way to go, unless you just love awkward silences and getting hung up on. In that case, carry on. So what does work? Well, that's exactly what I teach. Now, right now, our membership is closed, but you can join the wait list to be the first to know when we reopen up new spots. Now, the link is in the video description below. All right, if this video gave you some aha moments, go ahead and give it a like and hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss what's coming up next. Start building your list and connecting with your sphere today. See you in the next video.